The NFL Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code SGP. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on football, only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code SGP. We're also brought to you by the Game Time app. Snag the tickets without the stress. Use promo code SGPN on your first purchase to save $20. Download the Game Time app and use promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play Underdog Pick on college or NFL and win up to 20 times the amount in one game. Use promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. And finally, we're brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NFL Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no voice, no guy. It's me, really real, villain real, Terrell from Virginia here at your service.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar.
Dollar, dollar bill, y'all. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar, dollar bill, y'all. Tell them to bring me my money.
Hey, look, I'll tell you who didn't get to the money. Oh, I can tell you absolutely who didn't get some money. But before we do that, got my co-host with me here to break down the afternoon games in officially week 2, but it's really week 1 for some. Scott Studio Rochelle. Scott, what's going on?
And nothing much.
Got it.
Looking forward
Beat
to
me
week
up.
2.
Surprise.
Overall, pretty weird week 1 for both of us because your team had a pretty rough prime time, and then my team had a weirder prime time where they won the game, but their season hopes died. So I don't really know how I feel about it, but a pretty weird week 1. Besides that, though, as for the picks, mine were okay. Ended up winning the lock. I had the Packers to beat the Bears, and they ended up doing it. As for my dog, I was torn between the Giants and the Raiders, and I chose poorly because the Raiders won and the Giants got killed. So overall, a decent first week for me. Can't complain too much. Looking forward to week 2.
Very much so. We are both 1-0 in our locks to start the week 2 afternoon game slate. I had Rams plus 5.5. Never in doubt. It was never in doubt. The Rams kept it close in the first half, absolutely annihilated the Seahawks in the second half. For my dog, had the Patriots money line. I was 1 foot away from cashing that bet. I don't care what nobody tells me. I don't care what happened. If the Patriots converted that 4th down and he got the other foot down, they were going down for a touchdown. Like, that's 100% how it was. The Eagles were absolutely abysmal outside of the first quarter. Couldn't move the football, couldn't score, couldn't do anything. And they just let the Patriots back into the game. So, unfortunately, they didn't get it done. It was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It was on 4th down. Ball went back to the Eagles. Eagles end up running the clock out, win the game. We were 1 foot away from winning that game, like 1 foot away from a last-second win. I'm telling you, it would have been great. And then Sunday night happened, and the Giants played. Well, played is the wrong word. The
They
Giants were in
allegedly
the
showed up at
stadium.
the arena.
They
Allegedly.
were in the stadium, and then they just let the Cowboys just kind of literally do whatever they want, and it's so funny. It's so funny because the best drive they had, they didn't throw the ball.
It was
They
the
didn't
first
throw the
drive.
ball.
Yeah.
It was the best drive they had. They didn't throw the ball. They kept running the ball. And guess what? They couldn't stop it. The Cowboys literally couldn't stop the run. First drive, couldn't stop the run. It was hilarious. And I was enjoying myself because I had Daniel Jones. What was it? I think I had him for 30 rushing yards. Yeah, I think I had him for 30 rushing yards in a parlay. And he had 27 at the end of the first drive. And I'm like, all right. Then next thing you know, they abandon the run, go to the pass, and then the wheels fell off and it got extremely ugly from there. And there's a lot of reasons for so. I think that that game, specifically by the offensive line, and I've seen some really bad offensive line play with the Giants, like really bad offensive line play with the Giants.
I do want to ask though, is this addressed at the entire offensive line or one guy that Kramer might have talked about earlier in the
No,
week
I
on the
so
site?
Kramer called out one person. I think the entire line played
Okay,
trash.
just making sure.
Like
Yeah.
I mean, I 100% agree with his sentiments, but the entire offensive line played like trash, like absolutely garbage, and it was probably as a unit the worst offensive line play I've ever seen in a game with my eyes. To the fact, and well, I can't even say that because I didn't watch the whole game. I'm not gonna lie, I was out of there by the second quarter. I was. I didn't care anymore. I was out of there by the second quarter. If they came back, I was perfectly fine with them coming back and then me not being able to watch a Giants game for the rest of the season.
Out of
Fully.
curiosity, what was the final play that you saw before you got up and you just left? Was it an interception,
Dang.
turnover on downs? Was there a play involved where you
Mm,
just said, I can't do this anymore?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I actually don't remember. So I think I think the pick six is when I started to tune out.
Okay. When it hit
So
Barkley and then it got knocked out
so
and it was a pick six?
yeah, so I think the pick six is when I started to tune out. And that's when I started being on my phone. I started talking, sad and all that stuff. And then I just started scrolling Twitter and doing whatever. But that was still in the first. I made it to the second. I don't know at what point it made me say, all right, I'm tired of this game watching me. I'm going to do something else. But there was at some point in there where the game was watching me, and I realized the game was watching me. And I was like, why do I even have this still on? And so turned it off, didn't go back. I honestly think that's probably the quickest I've ever tuned out of a game in the first quarter. I don't
It's
think I've
tough to get
ever
worse in the first quarter, to be fair.
I don't think I've ever tuned out of a game in the first quarter. I'm trying to think. It's been some bad games that I've watched. I don't think I've ever tuned out in the first quarter like that. But it's you wait for an entire off season. You have all your fans excited coming off a playoff berth, even though you got embarrassed in the second round, coming off a playoff berth. You won coach of the year. You go into the preseason and you have a great first drive of Daniel Jones in the preseason, and then you get back and everybody looks like shit. Like absolute shit. Like it that was a Knicks performance. I don't think I've ever used the Giants and the Knicks in the same sentence, but
That
that was
wasn't
a
a
Knicks
Thibodeau
like
Knicks
performance.
performance. That was like
No, that was freaking Phil Jackson
mhm.
and his conniving, sneezing, disgusting ways, and James Dolan on the freaking sideline, laughing, having a ball, kicking Charles Oakley out the arena. That was that kind of Knicks performance. It was disgusting. It was absolutely tumultuous. I don't know how anybody can be a fan of this team who goes out there and has a performance like that against a division rival.
At home.
No, I don't really care about the home piece
I
because
think
we
the
always
home
suck at home.
matters.
No, we always suck at home.
I
That doesn't
mean,
matter
it's,
to me.
it's a season opener.
We've
Kind of my
literally
point.
we've literally always sucked at home. I've
You can
never
argue that
cared
it
about
heightens
home
the
games.
embarrassment that
That's
it was
why
at home.
that's why
So.
I've never been to the Giant Stadium, and that's the reason because we suck at home. And I'm like, why would I go? I'd rather go to on the road and watch us win on the road because we can win on the road. No, Giants have always sucked at home. Uh, I just, you know what? I think I'm done.
I was going to
I
say
think
we
I
can
got
talk
it
about the
out.
Giants again later when we go through
Yeah,
their game against the
we will,
Cardinals. But
and it was just something to get the people's blood flowing. I
just
haven't gone
remember,
into
by
the
the way,
comments
if it
yet.
makes you feel better, just remember your team might have gotten killed in week one. My team's entire playoff hopes lasted 4 plays, and Zach Wilson's the starting quarterback again. If that makes you feel any better, it could be worse. It could
You
be worse
know,
for you.
I don't. Yeah, I
It could
mean,
be worse. Bro,
I'm
you're talking
not gonna
about
count my.
hype. The,
I'm
the
not
Jets
gonna
had
count my
hard
chickens.
knocks.
So the thing about the Jets is that
They won the
this
game.
is literally it eclipsed Peyton Manning. Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to think of anybody else. I don't. Not even Brady was this hype. I think Aaron Rodgers because Rodgers not only requested a trade, but he went on national TV and said he's going to the Jets. and then didn't get traded for a month.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so now you have this wet dream of Aaron Rodgers in a Jets jersey for a month. And then it finally happens. Oh my gosh, it's great. You saw Sauce like he was freaking the president giving out the Medal of Honor, putting the 8 chain around A Rod.
Hmm.
You got Hard Knocks. You got all the press, and he didn't complete a pass. I it's really tough to be a New York fan. Like it's
It is.
really, really tough. It's in a terrible environment. I don't know why anybody wishes this upon themselves, but hey, this is the life we live. It didn't pick. We didn't pick it. It picked us, and so now we're here. Before we get to the actual games that are being played this weekend, I got to talk to you about DraftKings Sportsbook because this is the place where if you have the stomach to bet Giants football, then you can absolutely do that on DraftKings Sportsbook. A $5 bet, win or lose, doesn't matter, $5, and you can get a $200 instant bonus bet instantly. Instantly, you get your bonus bets in 200 form of $200 in bonus bets instantly on DraftKings Sportsbook. Head on over to DraftKings Sportsbook. Get down on some NFL action. Hey, Florida +7. Florida on the money line. They are going to whoop Tennessee in the swamp. I'm letting you know right now. That's the play. Matter of fact, get a little pleaser. Do a little pleaser and take Florida the opposite direction. Make it like -3 or something like that. They're going to beat the crap out of Tennessee. Download the app now. Use code SGP to sign up for a new DraftKings account. New customers can bet $5 and take home $200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook. That's code SGP. The crown is yours. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. We're also brought to you by the Game Time app, where you can go buy last-minute tickets. If I was in the Arizona area, I probably would end up buying last-minute tickets to see the Giants because the Giants are on the road, and that's the only place it seems like they can ever win a game. And so make sure you go. Last-minute tickets, doesn't matter where you're at, where you're going. My brother just got tickets off the Game Time app to Monday Night Raw. Absolutely make sure you do that. No idea why Nia Jax is back in WWE. I give it about over under 3.5 weeks until she hurts somebody and ends their career. So make sure you lock into the Game Time app so you can have a chance to see whether it's Monday Night Raw, whether it's a comedy show, whether it's a football game, whether it's a basketball game, WNBA, doesn't matter. You can get it on the Game Time app. This is what you do. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code SGPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code SGPN for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, Scott. We have a slate for us in the afternoon starting at 4:05. We're just going to go ahead and start with those New York Football Giants, who opened up as a 4.5 point favorite. This line got up to 5.5 in some shots. It's now back down to 4. 39.5 is total there. That's actually up from 38.5 where the line opened at. Oh, we need an injury report here. Injury report for the New York Giants. Let's see here. I did not have an injury report ready at all, but I got one right here. So
Everybody's pride is questionable.
yeah, pretty much. And honestly, truly, I don't even know. Wait, this is week 3. Why would it? No, this is
The
2022.
look ahead injury report? That's a bold
No,
one.
it's week 2 of 2022. Like, why would you initially put me in 2022? That doesn't make sense at all. I swear the NFL is dumb sometimes. All right, here we are, 4:05 on the East Coast. Let's start with the did not participate. And Darren Waller did not participate in practice. He has a hamstring injury. It's supposedly a different injury than the one he had last year, and he said it doesn't feel as bad. He said he expects to play. He doesn't feel like it's anything that stops him from playing. It's just a little uncomfortable. And Andrew Thomas, who is also dealing with, I believe, a hamstring. and he did not participate in practice. So that's brutal. Starting left tackle there. The long list of limited participation in practices goes Wandell Robinson, Matt Peart, Jameris Owens, Aziz Lujuare, Graham Gano, Cordell Flott, Cameron Brown, and Deontay Banks. For the Cardinals, you have did not participate Josh Woods and LJ Collier. Limited participate in practice was James Conner, Licky Fote, and Kelvin Beechin. I almost said Benjamin. Oh my God. It looked like Benjamin when I looked at it at first. I was about to be like, what?
He
Yeah.
was on pace to become an offensive lineman at some point.
Can
I say
that was
that?
a good one.
There you go.
That was
Thank
a
you.
good one. Yeah, that was a good one. It made me laugh. You forced to laugh. Sometimes I don't laugh and it just be funny in my head, but you forced to laugh. That was a good one. All right. I mean, come on, guys. Let's not be insane now. It's Giants.
I'm taking the Giants.
It's Giants -4. Like, we're not going to be insane about this. I 100% get it. We're not going to be insane about this. The Giants are not getting beat by the Cardinals in this spot. One, the Cardinals might be the only team that's worse than the Giants at home. To be honest, they never,
Even with
never.
Kyler, they never won home games.
They didn't because they're not good at home. And if you ask Kobe, it's because they play in that filthy stinking dome over there in Arizona, and that's why. But
I think you kind of need a dome in Arizona though, because it's like 110 degrees like during part of the year. Like I can understand it.
don't
there.
tell Kobe that. Do not tell Kobe that.
I think it's worse for cold weather teams having a dome than warm weather teams having a dome.
Oh,
in my
I
opinion.
would. Oh, I would never go to a cold weather stadium if it wasn't in the dome.
I didn't say
You
I'd
would
go. I'm just saying
you
the
would
elements are what makes
never-
is Kobe's favorite part.
And nerds. Yeah, right. Why would I pay money to go freeze? Like, I just never understood that. I'm gonna
I
pay
wouldn't do
money
it. I
and
didn't go to
freeze?
a Packer game when I was at Wisconsin.
Yeah, like what? No, you got to catch me. You literally got about, I say, a month. You got a solid month to catch me at a game before it's over.
I went to one game for the Badgers, and it was pouring rain, 30 degrees, and it was like a 14-9 game. And I said, I'm never doing this again. I got press passes for every other game I went to, so I was indoors.
Mhm.
That's how I got around it.
Shout out to Serial in the chat, holding the chat down by his lonesome. Yes, 100% wrestling fan. You haven't heard all the. I drop wrestling references like every single episode, and so yeah, and that's Serial talking about Arizona's defense not as good as Dallas. Yeah, it's not. It's clearly not.
I'll give Arizona's defense props though. They were pretty good in week 1, but I also question how much of that was Howell's second ever start, and there were some nerves involved. He also gave up a fumble touchdown and had a couple of self-inflicted wounds there. The Giants, I know week 1 they were terrible at keeping control of the ball, but under Dable, they have done a pretty good job of constantly winning the turnover battle. And when you're looking at Dobbs and how the Cardinals had the most vanilla game plan imaginable offensively against Washington, and they did nothing in the second half offensively, I really just see the Giants being able to settle down. They got embarrassed on national TV. It's a good bounce back spot against the worst team in the league. The Cardinals right now are the worst team in the league without Kyler being there. I'm taking the Giants, and they win this game comfortably.
Yeah, Wink Martindale is going to dial up a defense that's going to absolutely throw Josh Dobbs for a loop.
I
would
blame
actually
the defense in week 1, by the way, because every single touchdown was set up by bad special teams or a turnover.
Yeah. And I mean, the defense, at first, the defense played pretty all right. Like, I was texting my friend, and she's not really a football fan. She's more of a basketball fan. But I was texting her, and I was expressing my discontent with the Giants. And I was saying, yeah, no, the Giants gave up 16 points, and the offense only scored 3 of them. And she immediately, texted back, how the hell does that even happen? And the only thing I could say is I have no idea. I have no idea how the offense only has 3 points, but they have 16 points in the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's just freaking ridiculous. The Giants defense is going to throw Dobbs for a loop. Dobbs is absolutely just going to be confused. They're going to throw it's going to be a masterclass by Wink. And I can see it already where he has like freaking 8 people on the line, and Dobbs has no idea who's rushing, who's dropping back to pass. and he goes out there, gets sacks by the quarterback. That's really what I would play in this game. Give me all Giants defensive props I can take. I'll take sack props. I'll take interception props. I'll take whatever. I think that defense, that's really what it is. The defense is going to come out there and have a really good showing, especially those young corners we got in Trey Hawkins and Deontay Banks, who are going to have an opportunity to really showcase themselves because they didn't get that opportunity because the Giants offense was absolutely anemic. There's no point in talking about this anymore. It's Giants -4. Like if you're trying to talk yourself into the Cardinals, you're crazy here.
Cardinals are the worst team in the league, so
yeah,
I'm not going to back the worst team in the league.
I think you're insane if you're trying to talk yourself into the Cardinals in this spot. All right, totals at 39.5.
I'm going to lean under. I'm not sure Arizona's going to score. Defensively, though, Arizona's not that bad. At least they look decent in week 1. The Giants, even though I do think they're going to win the game, they're not going to let Daniel Jones air it out. They play time control offense, win the turnover battle. It's going to be a pretty ugly game. I see a 24-10 type final. Something really ugly. The Giants win comfortably, but neither team's able to really generate many big plays. I like the under. This number feels a bit high.
I wish I could get an alternate on Dobbs interceptions. I'm on under 2. I'm sorry. I skipped. Yeah, I'm on under 2. Can I get an alternate on Dobbs interceptions? No, I can't.
You might be able to find one on some book.
Yeah, we got to look somewhere else. Look around, but if you can get 2 interceptions on like this Giants, and I think that's the difference between the team this year and the team last year. I think now that Wink is going to be super aggressive with the personnel and trying to get the ball back and create turnovers and start like this is effectively our first game of the season. I'm treating it as the first game of the season. If you ask me of what I like in week 2, I'm gonna tell you, well, I like the Giants in week 1. And because this is our week 1. We didn't score anything. We didn't even show up to the building. We just kind of let the Cowboys go out there and play by themselves. And then they ended up scoring 40 points on their own and walked out of the stadium. This is week 1. So we're doing a week 1 breakdown for the Giants. Last week was preseason week 4. All right. Next game on the slate. Well, any other player props? I mean, we kind of danced over player props, but I mean,
I like James. I like Connor receptions in this one.
Really?
I do. Connor didn't really do much in week 1 with receiving yards, but he caught a couple of passes. And if we think that James Conner is going to be in the check down spot, and we're going to potentially see Dobbs running for his life the entire game, I do think that Connor's in line for a decent amount of receptions. In general, they don't have many weapons in the first place. So I do think, once again, looking at his stat line from week 1, I think he had 4 receptions, if I'm not mistaken. So I am going to go with Connor receptions here. I think that it's a great check down opportunity. Game flow could work itself out where they're constantly looking down. He had 5 catches for 8 yards. 5 catches, that's good enough for me. I'll go with Connor receptions. Besides the Giants stuff of like Barkley rushing yards and whatever. I think that the Connor receptions is a pretty sneaky play.
Yeah. If you just want like a play that you know is going to come through for you, just bet Saquon to score a touchdown. I think it's like -115. Let me check. Oh, well, I don't have touchdown. I don't what? They was up here earlier. What, bro? All right, I don't have touchdown scores from this one, but I'm pretty sure when I saw it earlier, it was like -115. I didn't get the bet in. Defensively, yeah, just take everybody on that defensive line and go to sack. You'll be up. You'll be up money at some point. They're gonna have multiple sacks in that game. So I'm looking at Lujuare +175, Dexter Lawrence +150, Kayvon Thibodeau +135. These are actually kind of low for sack props. Leonard Williams +180.
I think Thibodeau's too low on sack props. His season number was like 7 or like 7.5, and I just thought that was.
I think he's going to be way, and I think this is a coming out party. I think this is going to be a coming out party for him. He's going to be way better on the sacks this year. I just already have a feeling about that. All right, let's move on. Next game of slate. Ooh, San Francisco 49ers traveling to Los Angeles to play Los Angeles Rams. 49ers laying 7.5, over under set at 45. 5 injury report for these two teams. And we have for the San Francisco 49ers, Dre Greenlaw did not participate in practice. Trent Williams did not participate in practice. That's brutal.
Well, Greenlaw, to be clear, was a little bit misleading because he was not in main practice, but he was working out on a side field. So
Yeah,
he was there. He just wasn't in the main practice. He's probably going to play. That's my point.
Okay. I don't think that's the okay. I get it though.
Okay.
George Kittle, Ray McLeod, full participants in practice. For the Rams, you have Joe Noteboom. Interesting. Joe Noteboom, limited in practice, and what is that? Akilo Witherspoon, full participant in practice. So this is, I mean, the first stat I have to throw out. There's no way I'm taking the 49ers. I'm laying points.
Really?
There is no possible way you can ever get me to lay the points for you. Kyle Shanahan, as a road favorite of 7 or more points, 0-4 in his career.
I'm surprised it's only been 4 times. He's had some really good teams. He's only had 4 times?
Yes, only 4 times where he's
Okay,
been a
that
favorite
surprises
of
me.
7 or more. He is not covered in any of those games. I know everybody talks about, oh, well, Kyle Shanahan owns Sean McVay, blah, 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 blah. They've never had a line this big. A lot of those times, it was Shanahan that was actually the dog. And in this spot, I mean, we just said it. We just said it. The biggest name on either side, Trent Williams, did not participate in practice, and you didn't say anything about Trent Williams working out on the side.
I did not. I know for a fact Greenlaw did. I'm pretty sure Williams did not actually do anything for practice.
That's huge. That is huge. And so, while yes, the 49ers are good, I think they are good. I think they're one of the best teams in the league. In a spot where one, Kyle Shanahan never coaches his team up to this spot. 2, you have a Chargers team that is already chomping at the bits to get back at this 49ers team because they get whooped by them every freaking year. It's for 2 division. It was the same thing. It's literally the exact same handicap as I had last week. It's just too many points in a division game in this division. Like I'm not laying that number with Shanahan against anybody on the road, but I'm definitely not laying it against the division. I don't care what he's been doing against them. 7.5 is way too many points. And that's why it's at 7.5, because it was at 8.5 and it came down because everybody knew it was too many points. I'm all over the Rams here. Rams plus 7.5.
So I still see a 7 available. I'm going to take the 7. I'm going to go with the Niners. I think that they're going to win this game comfortably. The Rams looked really good in the second half against Seattle, but there are some question marks about Seattle, whether it involves Geno being able to duplicate his performance from last year. The defense was never great in general for Seattle last year. I'm looking at the Niners, and from what I saw in week 1, once again, it's only 1 week. It's not a great to overreact from week 1, but I think the Niners are the second best team in the league. And going into the number 1's being a healthy Kansas City team. But looking at my Super Bowl prediction, I had the Chiefs beating the Niners. So I do think, once again, the Niners are a class above the Rams, or a couple classes above the Rams. Props to the Rams for winning in week 1. They won a nice game on the road. It's a home game for the Rams, which means that it's going to be a home game for the Niners because nobody actually goes to these games for LA. It's going to be a sea of red. Bunch of Niners fans in attendance. I'm going to take the Niners. I think they'll dominate up front. The same story every year. The Niners dominate the trenches. Purdy's looked really good so far in his young career. You're looking at the ground game. You're looking with McCaffrey having 150-plus yards. You're looking at Kittle. You're looking at Ayuk had 2 touchdowns. I just think that people are now overreacting or overrating the Rams, who I still think are going to be a borderline 500 team. The Niners might win 13 or 14 games. I think the Niners are actually that good. I'm taking the Niners -7. I like the under in the game, though.
I think you're insane.
Okay, we'll see. We split our disagreements in week 1.
But I'm 1-0 betting the Rams.
Yes, you are.
And you are 0-1.
I'm 1-0 betting the Eagles, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, no, the Eagles are not playing in this game.
They're not.
So
No, they're not.
I am so glad that you put that out there because the Eagles aren't playing in this game.
I just put it out there
man.
because we split our main disagreements from week 1, so we'll see what happens in week 2. But right now, in our head-to-head battle, we're 1-1.
Let me see here, man. who are these teams that I gotta go back through here.
By the
Who
way,
are
while
these
you pull
teams?
that up record wise, just to throw it out there, Shanahan's 9-4 straight up against McVay, and
Hmm.
Stafford is 2-7 straight up against the Niners. Does it mean anything? I don't know, but I'm gonna throw it out there. Those are the numbers.
All right, so he didn't cover against the Raiders last year. How bad that Raiders team was, he did not cover. He actually gave up 34 points
I
with
think you
that
got to
defense.
toss out last year's meetings because the Rams were so bad last year that I'm not sure if it even applies.
No, I'm talking about Shanahan. And
I'm just
whenever
saying
Shanahan,
last year's numbers they killed the Rams twice, but the Rams were
no, but I'm
garbage.
talking about Shanahan versus the Raiders last year. That has nothing to do with the Rams. I'm
Oh, the
just
Raiders.
about, yeah.
Okay.
Whenever they are getting more than 7 points, like is the Lions in 2021. You have
I remember both those games.
the
Okay.
Cardinals in 2019 and Washington football team, where they were 10-point favorites and the final score was 9-0.
That was the pouring rain game where Bosa did the slip and slide after the sack at the end. That was a pouring rain game though. That's a bit tricky, but yes. Okay.
They don't. He doesn't cover this number in
Okay.
whatever situation. Pouring rain, sunshine, Piccadilly's, whatever. I'm fading Shanahan. He's
A couple
not.
of those
He's
games though were very high scoring. So does that mean you're leaning to the over if you think the Rams are going to cover? I think it is correlated to some degree.
I don't think it's correlated actually.
You think the Rams can actually limit the Niners
They're
offensively in this game?
missing. They're missing Trent Williams. Like that's
I don't know if
huge.
they're missing him. He just didn't practice.
He's no. He's not
He's
playing.
also older. They've been limiting his practices for a while at this
You
point.
missed 2 days of practice. You're not playing. Well, I mean, he might be limited on Friday, and
I,
still,
I think Williams is
I'd
going
be
to play, but
interested. I'd be interested to see it, but uh, I think I
I'm
got a
leaning to
slight
the
lean.
under.
I don't really have a feeling total. I mean, I can see a really, really big defensive game, but I can see Matthew Stafford chucking the ball deep and then forcing the 49ers to have to go out there and score. So,
I think it's more based on the Niners because I don't want to compare them to the Giants offensively, but stylistically, they really like to drain a lot of the clock and they really like to run the ball. I think the Niners are going to score. My concern is that they're going to take up 7 minutes off the clock for a field goal drive, which we saw in week one. I see that happening too. I'm going to lean to the under. I think this game finishes like 27-14, if I had to guess, but I think this total's a bit high. I'm going to lean to the under. And the Rams defense was actually pretty good in week one.
yeah, give me under. I would have took the opening line over. I'll take the under here. All right. Before we get to the next game, well, we can talk a little couple player props. But before we do that, I have to talk to you about Underdog Fantasy because oh man, underdog is the way to play alongside your favorite football team all season long. You can win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5 in the pick'em contest, picking a player, choosing their stats, and choosing higher or lower. And this week they have a crazy special promotion. All you have to do is make a selection on Tua's passing yards. 277.5, higher or lower. Doesn't matter whether he wins or whether he gets there or whether he doesn't. You just got to make the selection. And Underdog is going to select 10 random winners to give out $10,000 each. Doesn't matter if you get the prop right. I'm telling you, you should probably take that under. But well, no, we don't have that. We do have that game. I'll talk about it later. So watch along, make your picks, and make a little cash with Underdog mobile app or use the website underdogfantasy.com. When you sign up, use promo code SGPN and Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. This is the place to go where you want to work on your player props, parlays, game lines. They have sports betting analytics platform that has NFL, NBA, MLB, soccer, all of that. They revolutionized the parlay optimizer tool, and now it goes and it can give you an expected probability for the entire parlay. Stop betting in the dark and join the over 30,000 users using Hall of Fame Bets. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app now. Use hofbets.com and use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. All right.
I thought you wanted to do the other ad read with that.
I did both of them.
Yeah, that
I
goes
did under,
last.
I did underdog and I did Hall of Fame.
Why did I
I
think
might have
underdog
did
went
them.
last? Okay, fair
I
enough.
might have did them out of order, but I did
Okay,
them both.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, keep me honest. I get it.
The order was throwing me off.
What's Puka Nakua's receptions at?
Oh, everybody loves a Nakua though. That I figured you'd be all over the under because that's like the classic fade the hot hand in week 1.
I would fade his receiving yards, but
I was gonna say that's such a you play to take the under and just fade
I would
the
fade
hype
his. I
train
would
you
fade
get.
his receiving yards, but they don't even have his. I don't see his receptions. I would take the receptions over because I think that he's going to get a bunch of stuff close to the line of scrimmage. But
I'm just gonna take Stafford interception and call it a day. I'll take Cam Akers under in rushing yards. 20 plus carries for 29 yards in week 1. I'll take the under for
how
Cam
did
Akers.
Stafford
rushing.
interception go last week?
It didn't work out, but against the Niners defense, I have more faith in it. Niners defense is filthy.
I actually can't touch Puka Nakua's receiving yards. It's at 43.5. I think that. So if all these are that low, what's Matthew Stafford's passing prop?
Let me check.
233. What? Okay, I get it. It's the Niners defense. There, Matthew Stafford can throw for 200 yards in his sleep. Literally,
I wouldn't
in
mind
his
the
sleep.
over there anyway because I think the Rams won't be able to run the ball, so I think they're going to have to throw it a lot.
Yeah, they were really bad in terms of yards.
Which is kind of weird because they had 3 rushing touchdowns, but they averaged like 2 and change yards per carry. They couldn't run the ball except in the red zone. I don't mind the pass attempts for Stafford because I really think running the ball is not going to work.
I really want to fade Cam Akers, but he's gonna get like 20 attempts. It's just that
is he? I think that
he
Kyron
got
might
22
take some
attempts.
I know. I think Kyron might have potentially stolen a decent amount of the work.
Kyron had 15,
but he had a touchdown in there, 2 touchdowns, I think.
Yeah, Cam Akers had like they just ran the ball so much. I mean, it's partially because they were up, but like they ran the ball so much that it's like you look up and Cam Akers had 22 touches. Freaking Kyron Williams had 15. Like I don't know what to make of that backfield. Just fade them all.
You want to move on to the next game?
I'm trying to decide if I want to back Aaron Donald to get a sack or not.
What's the price?
Plus 170.
It's not bad. I mean, it makes sense it's that high because the Niners are going to run the ball first, and I get all that, but it's Aaron Donald.
I might get there. Purdy's not evading anybody. If Donald, like, you see what Donald did
3 times.
Did you see what he did to Geno?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't blame him. That's how I would react if I had Aaron Donald running towards me.
Hey, bro, I'd have said something way worse if I see Aaron Donald running at me. I'd have said something way worse. Oh, man. All right. I'm just... yeah, Rams plus 7.5. Okay, let's move on to the next game. We have the Washington Commanders. I almost said Washington football team. They might as well be the football team. I kind of like the football team name, actually. Washington Commanders traveling to Denver to play the Denver Broncos. Broncos are laying 3.5. It stayed true to 3.5. 39 is the total. It actually came down 2.5 points. Let's see an injury report for these two teams. And for the Commanders, we have Terry McLaurin was a full participant in practice. We have Jatavius Martin. The corner did not participate in practice. And then Chase Young and Curtis Samuel were both limited in practice. For the Broncos, Frank Clark, limited participant in practice. We have Jared Judy, DJ Jones, Riley Moss, all 3 of them limited participants in practice. And Greg DeLuch did not participate in practice. I feel like this is this. So this is Sam Howell's first road game, like literally his first road game ever in the NFL. And he's going to Denver in altitude after underperforming in week 1. I mean, everybody and their mother is on Denver, and I get it. I'm on Denver, but I would love for you to talk me off of Denver because I just can't imagine ever sitting out here and giving out Russ.
I'm going to take the Commanders.
Are you
plus the
really?
3.5. I am.
Are you serious?
Then
Did you
again,
see Sam Howell last week?
I took the Raiders with Garoppolo. He had 200 passing yards. They won the game anyway.
Yeah,
Like,
okay. I'm with, and I took the Raiders too. We both took the Raiders. But did you see Sam Howell last week?
Howell was not great. I'm aware of that. I can't
Do you
take
know who
Denver
Sam
laying
Howell
3.5.
played last week?
We've acknowledged several times on this show Russell Wilson is washed. We've
Yes,
acknowledged
he
it.
is. He
They
is.
scored
Yes,
16
very much
points
so.
in week 1. They let McManus walk. They can't kick. Like, the kicking game completely blew the game for them. I think Denver's offense from week 1 wasn't as bad as the point total suggests, but they weren't great. I think the Commanders defensively are better than the Raiders are. And I do think, once again, this is a very, very close game, in my opinion, looking at both teams, just comparatively speaking. I'm going to lean to the Commanders plus 3.5 because does Denver ever win easy? Ever? Not really. Every game goes down to the wire because they can't really score. Their defense is fine, but you kind of want them to do a bit more every time. I'm going to lean to the Commanders. I like the fact that McLaurin's healthy. They still have Dotson. They have some weapons out there. The Broncos really don't have many good weapons. I know Sutton caught a touchdown pass in week 1. I'm not a fan of Judy at all. I don't think Judy's good. The ground game was okay against the Raiders. It wasn't great. But it's mostly not wanting to lay 3.5 with Russell Wilson, who I just think isn't very good at this stage in his career. It's a low total. You're expecting a rock fight. I see a 2017 type game either way. I'll take the Commanders plus 3.5.
You didn't convince me at all. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
that's fine.
I
I wasn't
can't.
really trying to. I was just speaking
Yeah.
what I thought was going to happen.
No, I mean I was looking for any reason not to bet to back Russ in this, but you got a young quarterback in his first road game. You backed Denver at home earlier on in the season. I know it didn't come through last week, and I get that, but it's still you're coming up into elevation, and a little bit of that. The Raiders go up into elevation every year, so there was a little bit of familiarity there. But you have a Washington team that when is the last time they've ever even come out here? I guess some of these people that might never even been to Denver before. I,
I gotta
I
look
think
that
that
up.
I think that this is just a terrible road spot for a young quarterback that's trying to grasp an offense for the first time. And I don't think he's there yet. I really like what last week showed me is that this offense can flash, but he's not there yet. And so now you're telling me that they're about to go face off against Patrick Surtain, Frank Clark, and that defense? Yeah, absolutely not. I think
2021.
yeah, I'm all over. I'm all over the Denver here. Give me Denver minus 3.5. I hate to sit here and say I'm betting Russ, but I'm betting Russ. I think
Yeah,
Denver
you're on
can win this.
Broncos minus 3.5. Let's ride.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm staying away from the let's ride bandwagon. I'll go with the Commanders. But the answer was 2021. They played in Denver in 2021.
It's all right. I'm backing them here because I'm going to fade the shit out of them next week. All right. Give me the under 39. Under 39. This defense is.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Honestly,
I said 27.
I think that the Commanders.
so-
I think the Commanders might not put a touchdown up on the board. I think that
That's a hot
they
take.
might finish with. I think they might finish with like 2 or 3 field goals. I think that they might not put a touchdown up on the board.
There's a couple ways to
Seriously.
get there because both offenses aren't great. So I'm on the under as well.
Yeah, I don't. Washington team total under. I don't think that their offense is going to score at all. All right. Player props for this one. Just give me everybody's under.
I think it's going to be a hideous game. I'm assuming you're throwing in Howell interception.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
Yeah, I
I
figured-
think that he's gonna. I think he's gonna try. I think Patrick Surtain is gonna get it too. I think he's gonna be an idiot. He's gonna try him.
That's fair.
I think he's gonna try him. I don't think he paid attention to film. I think he's gonna try him, and that's how he's definitely gonna get that interception. It's at minus 152. Russ interception is at plus 105. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm on the Broncos. Absolutely.
Plus money is a good deal for us.
Plus 105. Yeah, right. Yeah, freaking right. Come on now.
I'm thinking about Robinson under for rushing yards. Broncos did a really good job against Josh Jacobs in week 1. And the Commanders have this weird makeshift committee with 2.5 guys because Gibson's kind of a third down back, but he occasionally gets early down work. And they also
Mhm.
have Rodriguez, the guy from Kentucky, who gets some touches too. I kind of like the under on Robinson rushing yards. I think Denver's going to do a good job of bottling up the ground game. And based on what you think they're going to do, they're going to stack the box and try to intimidate Howell. So I'm going to link to the under for rushing yards on Robinson.
Sam Howell under half a touchdown, 2-1.
That's passing touchdown, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Under half a passing touchdown, 2-1. Yeah, that's a great 2-1 bet for
That's
this
a very,
game, 'cause
very
I
good
don't-
2-1.
because I don't think that they're going to put a touchdown on the board against this defense in Denver. I
And they could
really
also
think they're
run.
gonna
How about a
struggle.
rushing touchdown
Yep.
in week 1?
And so I mean they can run it in, they can do whatever as long as he doesn't pass it to anybody for a touchdown. I'm good. Under a half a touchdown for 2-1 for Sam Howell. That's probably outside of rush interception. That's probably my favorite bet in this game. All right. Moving on. Next game of the slate. Last game of the slate. No, 2 games. We got 2 games left. I'm sorry. New York Jets are traveling to Dallas. Your New York Jets. They don't call them the New York Football Jets. -9.5 for Dallas. It's minus. Yeah, I mean,
Sounds about right.
Rodgers is good for a touchdown. 38.5 is the total. Apparently, Rodgers is good for 11.5 points too. 10.5 points. I'm sorry, that math was off. Injury report for these 2 teams, and we have for the New York Jets, Brees Hall limited in practice. That's precautionary. Dwayne Brown limited in practice. Mekhi Becton limited in practice. I mean, I don't think it matters. The entire offensive line sucks.
I think they're gonna play, but they're a little
Yeah,
bit limited.
they're gonna suck. They're gonna play and they're gonna suck. Tyron
Becton's
Smith.
okay. Brown's the one who got Rodgers injured, but
Tyron Smith is a full participant in practice. You know, on that Rodgers injury, I had bet Leonard Floyd for a sack. And I don't even know what I got, but I got him.
well, there was a combo deal. It was him or Rousseau to get a sack on one book.
Yeah.
I
And
remember.
so I was cheering because we hit the prop, and then I realized that Aaron Rodgers sat
killed
back
him.
down on the ground.
It wasn't a
Yeah.
dirty play or anything. Nobody.
No,
usually
it was
get
just a freak
outraged.
accident. It's because he's
Yeah.
freaking 40 trying to go out there and play. Like, I understand. Brady was not injury prone when he was playing when he was 40. Rodgers has a season-ending injury every other season. I
All I
don't
know
know
is
how-
usually when you get a serious injury like that, you automatically get some people blaming the defensive player for a dirty play. Floyd didn't do anything. He just tackled him, and it was like, all right, he just destroyed his Achilles.
Brandon Cooks, Tyler Smith, and Donovan Wilson all did not participate in practice for the Cowboys.
I expect Cooks to not play. I heard he's battling an MCL sprain. He's probably not going to play this week.
Yeah, probably if I was him, I wouldn't want to go up against that Jet secondary either. So I'd probably want to try to take the week off. Come on, guys, 9.5 is crazy.
I like the under. The under is my favorite play here.
9.5 is insane. 9.5 is insane. The under is one of my favorite plays too. But this smells 13-10. This smells 13-10. You have 2 of what potentially could be 2 top 5 defenses as of right now.
I don't even think it's potentially. I think they just are top 5 defenses.
Well, we'll see if the Cowboys are legit because the Giants suck. So we'll see if the Cowboys are really legit or not. But we know that Jets defense is legit. And ultimately, I don't think the Cowboys are going to be able to move the ball against the Jets like they did against the Giants at all. Clearly, actually, in the first part of the game, the Cowboys could not move the ball against the Giants, and it was everything else that was helping them be able to put up points. And so I think that now you have a situation where this Jets team, where they stuff the run, they make it incredibly hard for you to run the ball. I'm on Tony Pollard's unders this week because I don't think he's going to be able to run on that Jets front. You have Sauce and you have Reed and you have Whitehead and all those guys in the secondary, and they're ball hawks. They're good. And we know Dak is good for one. Like, we know Dak is good for one. He's 100% good for one. So I think that's what it's going to be. This Jets defense is going to really, really step up to the occasion because everybody's talking about, well, what's Wilson going to do with Rodgers gone? How is Wilson going to step up? No. The defense is going to step up because they know that they have to keep themselves in games and give the offense opportunities because you don't have Aaron Rodgers at the helm anymore. This is the exact same thing this defense did last year. They stepped up, played really good ball, and tried to keep the team in the game until the fact that the offense wouldn't be able to score anything. And that's ultimately what I think here. The Jets offense isn't going to score anything, but they're not going to give up much to the Cowboys either. I think this is a easy. This might be a 10-10 tie. Like they're not sniffing close to 38 points in this game. All over plus 9.5. I'd be impressed to see the Cowboys cover 9.5 in this game.
I actually have a hard time with the spread because you said before you're not sure if the Commanders score a touchdown against the Broncos. I'm not sure the Jets score a touchdown against the Cowboys, which is why
The Jets
I'm
could
a
not
little bit
score a
concerned here.
touchdown and still cover this number.
They can, but I can also see a 20-6 game. Like I can see something like that where the Cowboys do enough. It's going to come down to turnover battle because I do think once again Dak is good for an interception. Wilson might be good for a strip sack, fumble, and an interception. We'll see what happens there. I think for the spread, I'm going to lean Dallas. I'm not going to bet the spread.
You're
There's no chance I
insane.
bet the spread here. I'm not going to do it.
What?
I'm not betting the spread. I'm not
This
doing it. I
line
love
was
the under.
3 a week ago before Rodgers got injured. Rodgers is not. I don't care how. Nobody is worth 6.5 points to the spread. Well, no one person, even quarterbacks are not 6.5.
As somebody who has watched Zach Wilson play with the Jets, I am going to assume Rodgers is worth about 6 points because Zach Wilson's that bad. I'm going to go ahead. I mean, you just talked about how bad the Jets' offensive line is. Like, they can't block anybody. I have a serious problem expecting the Jets to actually hold up against this defensive front that the Cowboys have. I'm going to lean to a 20-6 game.
Not. They're 100% not going to hold up against the Cowboys.
No,
But
that's
the
the
Cowboys
point. I
are
don't think
not
the
going
Jets
to
are gonna
hold up
score
against the
touchdowns.
Jets. But the Cowboys are not going to hold up against the Jets either. I don't know where everybody is thinking that the Cowboys are easily going to walk into 20 plus points in this game, but absolutely not.
I
From
didn't
what
say
saw-
easily. I said 20-6.
No, but I'm saying I don't even
Okay.
think they get that far. This
Fine. Okay, fine.
screams less than 20
17-6.
on both sides. Screams,
17-6. I'll take the under as my favorite play.
and you're barely even cup.
Yeah,
You just
correct.
don't. You all right? It's fine. You're trying to emotionally hedge yourself out by taking the Cowboys, and
Not
it's
even
fine.
emotionally. I just think the Cowboys
Yeah.
are going to cover.
There's no way they cover this.
It's an
number.
ugly game.
This is such an overreaction, like such an overreaction. And defense travels. I think that this Jets defense is so live in this game. This is maybe a 6-point game.
They're a
Maybe.
great defense, but they have to do everything for this team. Dak's clearly better than Wilson. Like, I know we're talking about, once again, Dak being turnover prone. He's not as turnover prone as Zach Wilson is.
Is he not? Because
He's not. He's not. I'm telling you.
Dak,
Zach Wilson's
Dak
more
led the
turnover
league in
prone.
interceptions. Dak led the league in interceptions. I refuse to believe. Like, you can't say
who did?
somebody that led the league. Dak led the league in interceptions.
Last year was Josh Allen.
No, but Dak has led the league in interceptions.
That was a couple years ago. I got to actually look that up. Let me pull that up.
And so, no.
I think
Dak
Dak's
is-
going to turn it over in this game, but I think Zach Wilson is going to turn it over more. So I'll go with Dallas.
All right, we'll see.
But once again, favorite play under.
We are on the opposite sides of this entire slate, except the Giants.
By the way, Dak led the league
ironically.
in interceptions with 15. 15 was
Because
the
he
league high.
sucks. He's not good.
No,
He's
I'm
not
asking though.
good.
Like 15 was last year. Josh Allen led the league. Dak never led the league in interceptions.
Dak had 15 interceptions last year.
Yeah, didn't Josh Allen have like significantly more than 15?
No, I'm almost positive Dak led the league in interception last year. I don't have the
I gotta
numbers
pull
in
that up
front of
because
me.
I think Allen had like 18.
And
I
then
gotta
Dak
pull that
didn't
up.
even play the whole season. Get out my face, Sky.
Let me pull this
Dak
up.
didn't
Okay,
even
I
play
take
the
it
whole
back.
season.
Allen had 14 last year. I take it back. Okay,
Dak
fair
didn't
enough.
even play, and Dak did that in 12 games. Thank you, Serial. In 12
Okay.
games, like that's all he needed. Yeah, all right. What are we on? Dak interception. That's my.
That's
prop.
plus 114 on DraftKings.
No way.
I swear. Dak interceptions plus 114 on DraftKings.
All right, everybody.
I was going to say, after this debate we had, I was still going to take Dak interception at plus 114.
Everybody, hold on. Everybody, hold on. Everybody, hold on. Wait. It's happening. It's happening. Stay calm. Stay calm. Stay calm.
And he's betting it. By the way, for comparison, Zach Wilson interception is minus 215. And Dak interceptions plus 114.
Only one of them has led the league in interceptions.
I don't think Zach Wilson played enough to lead the league in interceptions, but fair.
I'm just stating a point.
Yeah, Serial's pointing out what I have to point out though. Even though Dak's been turnover prone lately, he does have a pretty solid touchdown interception ratio in his career. Wilson's just bad. Like he's just a bad player. I think the
Yeah,
Cowboys will win the turnover battle, and I think they'll win an ugly game. But
Dak is bad, but everybody refuses to admit it because he had a really good start to his career.
define bad.
Like he
I
sucks.
think Dak's easily top half.
Yeah, he sucks.
I'm not sure if he's top 10. I think he's top 15.
He's like the worst of everybody in that tier that you have him in. He's probably the worst.
Okay, it's fine. Top 15. I have Wilson bottom 5. There's still a massive gap between the two quarterbacks.
Wilson probably. Well, they both probably get a win this week, but uh, let me see. Where is? I had one more. All right,
Well,
so we
you
can.
said you wanted the under on rushing yards for Pollard.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this Jets defense is really, really good, man. Like that defensive line is a monster.
It's
They don't
71
have
and a
to
half.
bring any freaking pressure at all.
71 and a half though. That number does feel very high for Pollard. I like the under on that.
All right, I have an interception parlay for the people, but it involves one more game, so I'm gonna wait to give it out.
Do you want to save that out for the dog later in the show? You can do a
No, I'm
parlay
not
if
gonna
you
give
want.
it. No, I'm not gonna give it. Make it the dog. I'm just gonna
Underdog play? Interceptions on a couple of guys?
It's actually the same. It's actually the same price. So I wonder if we can get that in underdog. That might be underdog.
Parlay.
That might be the underdog contest.
Sorry. Whatever. He's gonna have higher.
All
The
right.
grammar's completely off. He's gonna have higher than half
All
an
right.
interception. Sorry, my bad. All right.
Serial, we kept you from going to another Super Bowl, and we won the Super Bowl that same year. I'm in
All right,
the
last
review.
game.
I'm salty. All right, let's move on to the last game of the slate. We have the Miami Dolphins going to play the New England Patriots on Sunday Night Football. Divisional matchup in Sunday Night Football. Line opened up at -2.5. It's now at -3 Dolphins. 46.5 is the total here. Injury report for these two teams, and we have for the Miami Dolphins. Devon Chain is a full participant in practice. Xavier Howard was a full participant in practice, same as Brandon Jones, and same for Connor Williams. Limited participants in practice were Jalen Waddle, Julian Hill, Elijah Campbell, and Tyrion Armstead. And for Raheem Mostert did not participate in practice. For the Patriots,
I thought he practiced today.
I have a did not participate here.
That's for Thursday or that's for Wednesday?
It doesn't say. So
I'm gonna look that up, but I thought he practiced today.
David Andrews, Keyshawn Boutte. Let's see. Mike
Most are practiced
Onweyu, Devontae Parker, and Cole Strange all limited. And we have Sidney So and Trent Brown did not participate in practice.
By the way, Mostert did practice on Thursday.
He did. Was he limited?
I believe so, but he was there.
I would assume. I mean,
Tua undefeated against the Patriots. He is 4-0.
okay.
But I actually like the Patriots in the spot.
Oh, so I like the Patriots, but it's not like.
No, I was hoping it'd be a bigger line. I was hoping after the Dolphins had 460 passing yards, it'd be like -4.5 or -5.
Because now we're basically saying they win the game.
Pretty much, yeah.
And that's
the
tough,
Dolphins are
because Tua
very
kills this
overrated
game.
after week 1. They're very overrated after week 1. But 3?
Because it's the freaking Chargers. It's the Chargers and everybody. It's the freaking Chargers, man. Actually, that's the reason why this line hasn't moved. Because the freaking Chargers, man. Everybody has the Chargers on this pedestal, and we're the only ones that know. We're the only ones that freaking know the Chargers are not like that. They're not.
I mean,
like
I put
that.
a message
They're
on Twitter. It was
horribly
before.
coached.
It was when Tua was driving to take the lead. It was the first play of the drive. I said this game just has Chargers loss written all over it. I've seen this script for about 5 years, and they lost the game. But
All right,
the
so
Dolphins, even
when
though they scored a
we-
bunch of
hold on,
points, they couldn't
hold
stop
up.
anybody. The Chargers went up and down the field also the entire game.
So at some point during that, when they just, I think it was right after the touchdown and the Dolphins went up, we were texting, and The conversation went like this, something like this. There's a bunch of me talking about Staley sucks, and a whole bunch of Staley sucks, and then we were waiting on the fourth down conversion, and then we were sitting here, and oh yeah, they missed, just gifted a missed PAT. That's when they
Yep.
missed the point after, and then I said, this is when Staley loses the game. Like this is 100% when he loses the game. They're down two, and they're gonna lose. And we actually sat here and chose fourth down incompletion or missed field goal for
Yep.
how he was going to lose this game.
And he got
Un-
sacked.
Unfortunately, we were both wrong because they had a free rusher to the quarterback that sacked Justin Herbert and sent them
It was
packing.
like 4th and 25. How do you give up a free rusher on 4th and 25? Okay, whatever. But yeah, we knew what was going to happen before it happened, pretty much.
And it's
That's the
because Staley
thing, though.
sucks and the Chargers suck.
Staley's a defensive-minded coach, and he let Tyreek Hill go for
That's what happens when you
215
hire
yards.
quarterbacks. That's what happens when you hire quarterbacks as DCs. This is exactly what happens when you hire a quarterback as a DC.
The point is, Belichick's not going to let Tyreek Hill go nuts, and Waddle's banged up. Waddle's going to play probably, but I like New England. I wish it was a bigger number, but I think I'm going to go with New England money line here. I think it's a good spot for New England.
I'm reluctantly going to take New
I
England.
really wish it was like 5. I really wish it was. It'd be so much easier. But I'm going to lean to New England.
I mean, yeah, I'm going to take New England too because we have to. It feels like we have to at this point, but Belichick better earn his money, man. Belichick is not him if he loses to Tua again like this. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, if he doesn't force Tua to have a bad game, if Tua doesn't go lower on his passing prop, 277.5, I told you I was going to bring it back up. If Tua doesn't go lower on that prop, Belichick is not him. I'm
For the
sorry.
record,
I
by
don't
the
care
way,
how
Tua's-
good of a defensive coach you are or anything like that. You're not going to let Tua embarrass you every single time you play him.
So Tua played against the Patriots 4 times. He's never gone over 270. He's only played in Foxborough, though, 1 time. So 3 of those games were in Miami.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's
Because he got
very
injured
misleading.
at various
That's
points in seasons. So
That's very, very misleading. Wow.
yeah, he's
I
only
did
played
not
in
know
New
that.
England once. And he went 16 of 27, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 207 yards.
Oh my God. Am I going to make the Patriots my dog 2 weeks in a row? Holy crap. All right.
I'm just saying, he has only played in New England 1 time.
Holy crap. I might have to make the Patriots my dog 2 weeks in a row. All right. 46.5 is the total.
It is a primetime game.
It
3-0 to
is.
the under so far. But Miami
Is
such
Bill
an over
O'Brien
team.
is Bill O'Brien good for Mac Jones?
He's better than Patricia.
I mean, yeah, I'm better than Patricia.
I don't think Bill O'Brien's a bad coordinator. He's just terrible
No, he's not.
for the DeAndre
But
Hopkins trade.
But and it's not that I think he's a bad coordinator. I think he's actually a pretty good coordinator. But it's the fact that it's Mac Jones. But again, while he threw 54 times, he still went over 300 yards passing and had 3 touchdowns. Like, that's pretty impressive.
I don't think Mac Jones is complete garbage. I think he's below average, but I think he's serviceable to some degree.
So here's the reason why I think New England's going to win. And I'm just going to blindly say that, one, Mac Jones is going to make the throws he needs to make. But also it's the fact of Miami, while, yes, one of the backs was Austin Eckler, and I know he's amazing. They gave up 200-something plus yards to running backs last week.
Yeah.
Couldn't stop anything. And that may have been just the Chargers. Like, maybe the Chargers are just that good running the ball. But there's also an equal possibility that Miami just can't stop the run this year, because that's insane. They were running up and down on that Miami team. And I'm telling you right now, if you afford that opportunity to Ramondre Stevenson and Zeke, they are 100% going to take advantage of it. This is clear-cut Patriots. I didn't know that Tua only played in Foxborough once.
I'm chalking it up
clear-cut
more to the
Patriots.
Chargers being that dumb defensively that I think Miami's overrated. So I'm going to go
Was
with
that-
New England.
Was that one game where they threw, like, what was it? I don't know. It wasn't a Hail Mary, but it was like they scored late and won the game late. Was it that
No,
game?
that was Fitzpatrick to Jasicki.
Oh, okay. All right,
Now,
so
the
it wasn't
201
that
I remember, that was one of the first games. That might have been the first game of the year where he had like a fumble late and he had a couple of really
Oh
dumb plays, but they
yeah,
won anyway.
yeah, I remember that. I think I was on the Dolphins on that one too.
They won barely, but
Yeah, it was ugly. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm all over. Yeah, we're on Patriots. I'm
this
glad we
is such
talked
a
about that.
trap line, by the way. This might be the biggest, like, sharp square divide. Because most people are going to look at Miami and go, well, they won week one. Two had 400 plus passing yards. I'll take them against New England. But I think it is pretty telling this line is so low.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm all over it. All right.
I'm going to lean under. I have faith in Belichick having a good game plan defensively.
Same. If I'm on Patriots, I have to be on under. I just can't
Yeah.
trust them to get into
I'm not
a
picking
shootout.
Mac Jones in a shootout.
I'm not saying honestly. I don't think there's a team in the league that I'd take in a shootout with Miami. I think if anybody beats Miami, it's because they limited on offense. I don't think there's any team in the league that I'd take in a shootout against Miami.
I think Mahomes would find a way. Maybe Buffalo, but fair. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
But for the most part, limit Tua. That's how you win the game.
Yep.
All right.
You get to go
Like I
first.
said, I'm all over the running backs. I'm all over the running backs here. Give me Ramondre Stevenson rushing over. I'm just going to go ahead and call my shot and say that the answer is Miami cannot stop the run. And so 51 and a half, way too freaking low. And he's chomping at the bits after getting stopped pretty much every single time he got the ball against the Eagles. Yeah, I'm all over Ramondre Stevenson running the ball here.
I'm going to Hunter Henry. Miami couldn't stop the tight end. Parham killed them in week one. I'm on Hunter
Yeah.
Henry in this one.
I like it. I like it. All right. Well, I might have to start Hunter Henry in fantasy, so I like you saying that. All right. Let's move on. Lock, dog. For my lock.
You can go prop if you want to.
Holy crap. Do I have to lock up Russ? I might have to lock up Russ. I might have to lock up Russ. Wow, that's like, wow. Nah, screw it. Y'all are insane. Giants -4. Yeah, right. Like, come on, you guys are insane. Giants -4. Like, that is absolutely insane. They're 100% beating the crap out of the Cardinals. What? No. I'm not even gonna let you guys even try to make it seem like that's not a lock. All right, Giants -4. That's my lock. For my dog, what's the that's a little bit. Let's get an alt line for the Patriots. I need a little bit more bang for. I need something to get my blood jumping. All right, let's see here. I can get the Patriots at. Do we flip the line to 3? But I don't want to miss out. Yeah, sure. That's the same price I got the Patriots last week. All right, give me the Patriots -2.5 at +150.
All right. For my lock on this show, I'm going to go back to the Jets Cowboys. Give me the under at 39. Both defenses are great. I think you're going to see a very ugly game. Even if Wilson is tolerable, the coaching staff won't let him lose the game for them. They're going to try to run the ball all the time and drain a bunch of clock. I see a very ugly game. I said 20-6. I think it's a pretty realistic score in this game. I'll go with the under 39 as my lock. For my dog, I am actually going to go to the same game. Give me Dak interception at +114. +114? Dak didn't have to do anything in week one. He just stood there and got a free win. I think that the Jets will be able to get after him. They'll force him into making a dumb throw or two. Give me Dak interception. I do agree with you, though, if you want to go for an actual dog on the money line, New England would be my pick. But I am, once again, going to take Dak as my main dog interception at +114. And then we got to make a parlay.
Yes, no. So it's actually not available in underdog. So I'm just going to give out the interception parlay. Dak, Stafford, Tua, +562.
Okay. I thought you said you were against Stafford.
Yeah,
because he didn't have one last week.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No. What? No.
It's really about volume here. Like, I just think that Miami
that's
and
really
the
that's
Rams have to throw it all the time.
That's really all it is. And then I think Dak's just an idiot. Like,
That's
so
fair.
we got two people that got to throw all the time, and then Dak's an idiot. So, yeah,
Interception parlay.
it is 3-pick interception parlay that plays out 562. Let's give our underdog contest of the day. I did not have Dak interception in there. That's why I couldn't do the underdog contest. I was looking for it. Well, we got to throw Tua in there because we got to make sure we get 10K. So lower on. Wow, holy crap! This they have.
It's 100K, by the way. It's not 10K.
Yeah, no, it's 10K to 10 people. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
yeah.
It's 10 to 10.
So
Okay,
so
cool.
100 overall, but 10K to 10 people.
Okay.
And they hammered the lower. Oh my gosh, it was at 277.5 earlier. It's at 271.5. Scott, we still take it.
Yeah, he's never gone over against New
Yeah.
England. I'll take the under.
All right, so lower Tua's 271.5 passing yards. What else?
You
We
want to go
got?
Barkley half a touchdown?
Is it in there?
Might
Let's see
be.
if it's, good thing about underdog, you have the search bar. You don't even have to scroll. Just type in the name. We do a half rushing and a receiving touchdown. Yes, let's throw that in there. That is a lock. All right. Saquon, that is number 2. Can we go for number 3? What's number 3? Huh. I really like Ramondre. I think Ramondre, but we've already kind of got something in that game.
Do you like Ramondre more or Hunter? Because Miami was really bad against the tight ends. Do you want to do something basic like McCaffrey touchdown or something?
Hunter Henry's interesting. I can get behind. No, because whenever I go basic and do something like McCaffrey touchdown, it's
okay.
literally the 1 week he never scores. Like, I hate doing that.
Do you want to go Sam Howell interception?
I can,
If they have that?
let's see. How? No, they don't have Howell interception.
Damn it.
They're
They're
scary.
haters.
They don't have Russ interception either. I would have considered that. Yeah, let's just go Henry.
Okay.
That's a good play. You're
What's
not
the yards at?
33.5.
That's way too low. Parham killed them in week 1.
What did Parham have in week 1?
Let me look. I know he had a touchdown.
Well, I scroll through here and try to see if there's anything else that we'd be interested in.
Week 1. It's the late game. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I think we need to go Henry.
Yeah, I think so too. But to pull up the numbers here, Parham had 3 catches for 22, but Everett had 2 catches for 21.
Okay. I think Henry's still a good play.
Yeah.
You control time possession, control clock, short intermediate throws. Don't let him make a mistake with the football. Henry's been one of his favorite targets ever since he got there. Yeah, I'm with you. Let's go 100. So there we go. Underdog pick'em contest for the week. Saquon Barkley, higher half a rushing or receiving touchdown. That's important. We are entering for the 10K. I really could use 10K. Tua, lower 271.5 total yards. And Hunter Henry, 33.5 receiving yards, higher. Those 3 pays you 6 extra payout. Make sure you use that promo code for new listeners, first time users of Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. It will double your first deposit up to $100. Scott, anything else for the people before we get up out of here?
Not really. Got WNBA show up next. So if you want some basketball action, we got you covered. Besides that, nothing more to add.
Absolutely. And I mean, I have to the one person, and I'm pretty sure it's still Serial, the one person in the YouTube chat. Make sure you like the video on your way out. For the people that are listening through your ears, wherever you get your podcast, maybe through the car, wherever, leave us a review, 5-star review. Hey, check us out. We're here every Thursday, 7 p.m., live on YouTube. Love to have conversation. We'll take your questions. We'll take all of that stuff. Even if you want to just come here and talk crap about New York teams, then you can come in here and do that as well. Absolutely. Other than that, I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. We're just going to end it like this. We are out of here.